Okay, so let's go. This is the first thing I've been doing in like a week. I've been sicker than a dog, so hopefully this goes to plan and everything goes good. But today we will be talking about the first 4 episodes, kind of a mid-season review of the show Invincible. And right now, I think this is the best show out. I think it's one of my favorite shows ever. I think it's fucking unbelievable. I mean, the first season, the second season, and now, I watched those first 3 episodes in one sitting. It took me biting at the bit to watch that, to wait a whole week to watch this next one, and now, I'm out. It's only Monday, and I'm stressing that I can't watch this next one until Thursday as well. So genuinely, I think this series has been set up great. I've read a little bit of the comics, trying not to have as many spoilers, even though I know most of it. But from the basis that I've gotten, it has been handled greatly throughout season 1 and 2. Maybe a little bit that they're kind of, they nerf some characters a little bit, but it's getting to the point now where you're kind of seeing the full powers, and that's where you're kind of seeing more full arc a little bit as this season has gone on, how powerful he is. And, it starts off in this season talking about how, his powers are up 120 something percent, his endurance is up 100% and stuff like that. I think it just shows, kind of where they've came from. In season 1, Mark didn't even have powers for the first episode, and thinking Omni-Man was thinking that he never was going to get his powers. So it's really great to see kind of where Mark is now and where he's going to be, and kind of how they frame it to where, Oliver is now what Mark was, and how his mom does not want him to grow up too quickly, which is understandable. He's so powerful, has Viltrumite blood, so I can understand and see why, Debbie wouldn't want that. It's kind of a crazy thing, because right now he is only 2 years old, but because of his blood and everything, that he's growing so quick, his powers have obviously been introduced quicker than Mark's did. But I like how they're handling that situation and kind of showing, how Mark, in season 1 was introduced, and he wanted a certain way and certain thoughts of how he should handle his powers. And Oliver's kind of the opposite. He's thinking kind of like Omni-Man, which we'll talk about. Oliver ends up killing the twins in a pretty, harsh way at first. You could say the first one was kind of like, oh crap, and then the second one, he meant to do that, and he says that to Mark. And that's the thing, is kind of Mark is now having this in his head about, is it okay for me to kill people and do this, since, they won't be able to come back and do the crimes. And that's kind of where Oliver's getting at, and to think that he's only really 2 years old and in this is kind of crazy, and how they're kind of introducing that thought that Omni-Man could have been right all that long ago, even though, Omni-Man at this time is changing as well. But they've introduced these characters so well, and I think another character that they've really shown, even more than in season 1 and season 2, through these first few episodes, is Cecil. Cecil is right about so many things, and basically everything. And the thing is his, now inner turmoil with Mark is setting up to be great, because you don't really trust Cecil right now, or Mark doesn't trust Cecil. And Cecil has kind of the right ideas right now, and it's just, at this point, it's not really going their way, and they want to have Mark on their side. He is the most powerful guy in the universe right now, for them to use when people are attacking Earth. And if they don't have him, they could be at real danger, and especially if he's against them. That's a thing that Cecil can really see, and he's kind of going against, and he's trying to adapt and look around. I think season 1 through 2, or 1 and 2 are great, and obviously these first 3-4 episodes have been great. And I also think another thing is obviously now Mark getting with Adam Eve. That's unreal. The only thing I'm kind of mad at is that they used the Feel It song for whatever, I can't think of her name, for his past girlfriend and not Adam Eve, because that song is brilliant. And I think that's another thing, is the soundtracks for Invincible is just unreal. It's great. Feel It is one of my favorite songs in a soundtrack ever. And then another thing I really think they've done well is, you know, that season, that episode 4 was such a great episode. Because one of my complaints was that there wasn't enough Omni-Man. And the reason why is because he has this arc right now where he's growing into, you know, wanting to change. But, you know, kind of he wanted to be put out of his misery because he knew he did some heinous things, some terrible things. And Alan being there, again, Seth Rogen is a perfect choice for Alan. And you know, Alan is a great character. He's one of my favorites in the comics and obviously in the show now. But that last scene, that last 20 minutes, I say, is one of the best scenes in Invincible. When they're breaking out of the prison, and, you know, obviously you hear Battle Beast. You know, Battle Beast is a fucking G. Battle Beast is awesome. If you don't know, also, they're doing a new comic book series for kind of the arc of Battle Beast. Battle Beast has popped up twice in this show, and he's been a fucking G. And I know in the comics he's a fucking G too. His fight versus Thrag, which will come up later in the series, is supposed to be unreal. And I can't get over Battle Beast coming out and being like, you know, do you have worthy competitors? I mean, Battle Beast is a fucking demon. Fucking love Battle Beast. You know, Battle Beast just wants smoke. That's all he wants. If Battle Beast doesn't have smoke, he says, fuck this, and he finds it. That's the big thing I love. But that last 20 minutes where, you know, they save Omni-Man, and Omni-Man is like, okay, you know, I'm with you, Alan, basically. And, you know, they talk about, you know, Omni-Man at the end, where he talks about how the biggest secret that the Viltrumites have is that there's only 50 left. And, you know, that's a big deal, because a lot of people think that, you know, if there's a huge Viltrumite army that they won't be able to compete. But with 50 left, or less than 50 left, you know, that's a big weakness, and that's something that, you know, Alan and the other guys can go at. But overall, I think these 4 episodes have been great. It's been great, you know, setting the tone for the first few episodes. Another thing, actually, before, you know, Immortal is a fucking pussy. That season 4, I mean, why do I keep saying season 4? Episode 4, where he's at the beginning and it shows, you know, him, you know, and Mark has to kill him. I love the backstory on that. They're going to get into that, and I loved that part. But that's the only part that I felt Immortal has been, you know, important. He's been a pussy in the rest of this. So, you know, hopefully we get to see Immortal not be a pussy and, you know, be cool. Because the rest, that's the big thing, is kind of the Guardians, the new Guardians and ever. I think they're very hit or miss, like, actually miss. I think most of them are just fucking stupid. I think the only character out of, like, the other, he's not even in the Guardians, whatever, is Rex. Rex is cool as shit. And you'll see Rex later on in the series be a G. But I think all the rest are kind of just stupid. I mean, I know they have reasons of why they're there, but right now they all look like big pussies and are kind of annoying. So I think that's one thing that I think they can expand upon in these next 4 episodes and the next seasons going on. But overall, this is just a mid-season review, and I'm gonna grade it an A+. I think this 4 episodes have been great and crazy, and, you know, there's been a reward of every episode. And I really think, like, they have so much to do, and even in these 4 episodes, they've just done so well with it, and I can't wait to see what they do in the next 4 episodes. I know Ian will touch on that in a little bit after these 4 episodes are done, but overall, if you haven't watched Invincible, you need to start tuning in now. I think they said there's going to be about 8 seasons, but really get ahead of the curve and try and watch it, get into the comics. These are damn near perfect episodes, comics, everything, and I would hate for you guys to not see peak television, you know, obviously peak television right now.